brings in this and how to actually react to these kind of situations. It starts off with a nice little quote that a life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. So basically meaning, it's the process and learning in the traineeship that should be important. There are some key success factors. So you need to have like a strong drive and willingness, but also a very positive attitude towards everything. Accept every challenge and learn by failing and take the initiative. Then there's a section on customers. The customers, they will also try and test you, but you have to be lenient and also true to your values. And also as a trainee, it's your duty to actually be polite to every customer, but you should also know how to assess who are the better customers or the customers that are worth you investing your time in. Then regarding trainee colleagues, these are the other people in your program. Make sure the advice here is to over-communicate because everybody may be a little bit different, everybody is ambitious, and the advice is to try and over-communicate, even though that may take more time. In the end, there will be less frustrations. And it's focused more on the process than the end goal. If everybody is too ambitious in trying to achieve the goal together, then it might actually work out less well. Then regarding personal attitude, it's important to have 360 feedback, so you're aware of your weaknesses from everybody. Exposing yourself shows maturity, so actually saying, I might be too dominant, or then please let me know if I'm acting this way. So a humble attitude in relation to yourself is important. And the last one is the fair pay. So actually standing up for yourselves shows integrity. You have to obviously do it in a friendly way, but again, ties into the part about the pay that we discussed just before.
So, accept every challenge and learn by failing miserably. I had a candidate, he came in an interview for me, and I asked him, what is the biggest mistake you ever made? And he said to me, oh, let me tell you about my biggest failure. Oh, this was such a big failure. And I'm like, okay, I like this guy, I'd like to hire him, and told me about a big failure that he learned a lot from, and he'd tried to start his own company. And you'll meet all sorts of customers who will test you, a little bit depending on the industry, but standing at the counter in Bedford Build Center, people come in, and sometimes there was some, you'd really be tested both from the customers because, you don't know anything about plastering or about bricklaying, and you got, I know you're from Sweden and you got all these degrees, and you're paid probably to your colleagues, you're probably being paid more than me anyway. So they will test you to far limits, and you got to be prepared for that, and you got to be okay with feeling miserable at times because you will. Pay attention and listen to feedback. It took me 2 years before I really started to listen to feedback about my own behavior. And the third time I heard the same feedback, I was like, okay, I keep on hearing the same things from the 360 degrees from my trainee colleagues, I think I'm all about setting direction, getting things going, cut the muck, let's get going. But some people are considering me to be a little bit overbearing and aggressive, and I keep on hearing it over and over again. When you hear it, it is other people's perception, and there is something in it. Look at it from their point of view. Many students will typically, maybe, it's my way or the highway. For my student colleagues, when I went out from university, it was a little bit like that. So listen to feedback and really take it in and think about how are you perceived by other people. I still get some of the same feedback, even though it's really hard to change who you are. But if you, as you said earlier, if you're in a situation you can say, okay, these are the qualities I'm bringing to the table in this group work, and here's some of the things where I might come across as being overbearing. Let me know if that happens. Okay. And you also ease up this situation in the group quite a lot. So get to know your strengths and weaknesses, and then the three are, this was more for fun that we did these. There might be many different ones. It's just a way of trying to sort and deal with the reality. I can give I'm thinking of a few people in my branch about this. The Grinders was the guy. He came in at 5 o'clock in the morning and he did his stuff. He was a driver and he did his stuff. And once I started to talk to him and really get to know him, I could actually learn quite a lot from him. But it took me. He wasn't making a big fuss out of himself. And then this, it's funny about this. I'm also thinking about a guy there who was he was quite tough, but engaging with him and getting to know him, getting him on my side and being respectful to him really got a long way. Then you have to relate to your trainee colleagues, and you might not like some of them, but you've got to deal with that. And then again, you're being molded, but you also need to mold yourself. It is in the book, basically. So how do we get it right? Help me here then. So, what your thoughts, they become your words. What your words, they become your actions. What your actions, they become your habits. What your habits, they become your character. What your character becomes your destiny. So basically, beware of your thoughts. I'm not going to read this long quote. We were presented this quote many times during the training program because, as you said, it was a fairly new program, and we were put in situations where people might go, "Who are you? Why? Who are you?" It's on page 37. Basically, it says that attitude is everything. If I'd rather hire a person that has the right attitude, a little bit less skills, than a person that has all the skills but bad attitude. So 90% I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our